Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sundays with the Cherry on Top. I'm your host Cherry. We are in Harlem on a lovely fall day, and we are about to go to the Hope Center, and we're going to interview Pastor Kyndra Frazier, and we're going to talk about healing, hoping, loving, and serving, and what that means. Stay tuned. I'm so excited for this one.
Miss Kyndra. Thank you for being a pioneer and a leader and doing what feels right and going for your dreams.
Thank you. Love you.
The chasm religion creates between flesh and spirit, and the ways the body is vilified in Christian fundamentalist thought have left many of us scared of our bodies and scared of each other. How many times do we go around seeking advice and evidence from other people to validate who we are when God is waiting for you to ask God what God thinks about you?
Today's episode, we're talking about hope, healing, and loving, and live, love, and serving. And I'm excited to be here today with my pastor and Pastor Kyndra, who healing on purpose, evolving. And so we're just talking today about why the Hope Center is in Harlem, why it's important for her to do the work that she's doing, and the language she has chosen to use to help with the healing. And so right now we're going to do a little tour, so she's going to walk us through.
How this building came to be, it started as an informal counseling ministry in the church about 4 or 5 years ago through Joyce Johnson.
And that's FCBC, we're members, and she pastors.
FCBC.
Hey, right down the street.
Pastor Kyndra.
Yes, I'm a member. Come on down.
It is amazing how witnessing what God does for someone else has a way of giving you hope in your personal crisis. That when you see what God has done in the lives of others, and you've seen it, you've been a witness to the move of God in the lives of others, it has a way of motivating and encouraging you for when you find yourself going through or wrestling with some issue or some situation that seems extremely difficult.
So with Joyce doing the work and with Pastor's vision to support that work, recognizing the need in the community for mental health resources to be made available to our community specifically.
Nice. Yeah.
This building is the dream of what they began to start 4 or 5 years ago. You know, a lot of times when people come in here, they are dealing with various issues, from depression to traumas that they've experienced, whether that be sexual abuse, psychological abuse, adverse childhood effects when it comes to living in poverty, living in a society that's filled with racism, and what that means for us to have a space like this where we can feel comfortable enough.
Yes, and having somebody you can talk to that looks like you, black and brown people coming in, because sometimes there's things we want to talk about that we can't talk about anywhere else, and that's one of the reasons why I created this show. And it's for us, by us, and about us, by me, all of that. Whatever the saying is. Y'all know the saying. You black, you know what I'm trying to say. For us, by us, with us, with you, everybody. The reason why I'm excited about that is because of the fact that there's certain places that we don't feel comfortable enough to walk in 100% of our blackness.
Yes.
And so safe spaces are very important. So that's why I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah, we want to be intentional about creating space for people to come and talk about their stories.
Yeah. So what's this wall? Yes.
This is our affirmation wall.
Affirmation wall.
I'm really big on affirmations just as my own practice for healing. So we're excited about this space.
Well, talk to me about the healing. Why is it really important to you that the language that you've chosen? Why is it called the Hope Center? What really is the inspiration behind Hope?
Hope stands for healing on purpose and evolving, because I believe that sometimes along life's journey we can get caught up into thinking we're too old to learn something new, or we're too old to talk about this thing that happened 15 years ago, even though I'm still bothered by it.
Yes.
And hope in and of itself, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so what it means to hope, even though you may may not have the evidence right now that things will work out, but you come to therapy, come in, we sit, we process things, we give interventions, you know, to support them along their healing journey.
How is combining both of those important to you, or why is it so important to you? And to be in a situation where you're doing what were called to do, what you've chosen to do, and combine your pastoral life. Now, is this something that's difficult, or do you feel like they go hand in hand, they're parallel to each other? How is that for you?
It's a good question. They are, I'm trying to give it to you short and long. Okay. The short version is that I had an instance working as a chaplain. At Greater Memorial Hospital, which at the time was the #1 trauma center in the Southeast.
Oh wow.
I was a chaplain on the inpatient psychiatric unit, as well as on the surgery unit and a neurosurgical unit. And I had an opportunity to work with a young man and I would work closely with the social workers during that time, but I had the opportunity to work with a young man who was African American, 23 years old, came in because he attempted to castrate himself with a circular saw. Oh gosh, okay. Which is,
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
And so at an interdisciplinary team meeting, they were reporting on him, and I was like, let me go see what this is about, and how he is doing. And when I walked in, he began to disclose to me why he had a challenge integrating his spirituality and his sexuality. And there was some psychosis going on. He felt like he used Matthew 19 and felt like God had been calling him to be a eunuch because of this same gender attraction. And it was at that moment that I began to discover what religious trauma is.
That's important. That's important, that the healing, the unlearning of what we've been told that is actually dangerous to our spirit. Whereas with us, with FCBC and the language that we use, it's mostly about freedom and knowing that regardless of how you're put on this planet, God loves you.
Exactly.
Because so many people out in the world, especially in our community, they don't go to church, or they do harm to themselves because they feel like God doesn't love them because of what we've been taught as far as the church goes, and you're going to go to hell, you're going to go all these things. So it's very important for me to do this interview because I want people to know that that's not what God intended. Right. And then how FCBC and we are a living example of, you come as you are, gay, straight, transgender. That's it. You know, we accept everybody, we love everybody. We try to teach and, you know, preach what we teach. The Jesus way. Yes. The Jesus way. So we talked earlier about the things that you do, the multiple things that you do. And so I want to incorporate your directing into that, right? Because you're a therapist, you are a pastor, and you are a director. So how did that come to you? And how do you balance it all? And are you sleeping?
I am sleeping. I'm sleeping now. Amen. Becoming a co-director of this film, I'm working on A Love Supreme.
Tell me more about that.
Queer and Christian in the South.
Turning in thee, thou changes. Probably 2 or 3 weeks after I had told my parents and told my cousins, I finally get a call from my uncle who's the pastor. And I said, well, yeah, I am embracing my queerness or my gayness. It's nothing that I am now. It's something that I've always been. I'm just embracing it now.
For the Lord is coming back real soon.
Something that I believe Spirit gave me around the end of 2015. My journey, I grew up Church of God, and so struggling through what it looked like for God to still love me and be same gender loving was a journey for me, and also a journey for my family once I came out at 23.
So that night, my mom made me come out to her. So before I left, we went and sat in the room, and she cried. And her question was, of course, are you sure? And I think you also said, but I would have known. So I think it hit her that there was something about me that she didn't know.
You know, when I initially came out, my parents were like, you're going to hell. I have my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, whom I love, who is the apple of my eye, even though she's deceased now, told me that I might as well be with a dog. But you know, 10 years later, 12 years later that I've been out, you know, I've seen God work miracles in my family to where my mom can come. She came with me as my date to her first lesbian wedding maybe 3 or 4 years ago. You know? But I wanted to capture.
That's beautiful.
It's powerful, and I wanted to capture families who had LGBTQ people in their family systems, who have found ways and are still finding ways to maintain loving relationships despite differences in theology or ideology. And so we've been working on this work for a couple of years now. We just got into production around this year. We just started getting funding, and so I found that I've had to create my own work schedule for this project, or else I wouldn't be able to get anything done. So being able to create that schedule, also being mindful that as the executive director here, the pastor over there, and the therapist, that I can't see everybody.
I'm looking at you in awe. I admire you. Okay, so we gotta go, because like I told you, I could talk to Pastor all day.
I can talk to Cherry all day too.
So after each episode, we do what I call as a cherry pick, and I ask everybody, what's your cherry pick? And it's for people out there to either it's a movie or a book you can read, like you have Lisa's book over there. But what is a cherry pick for you that can impact the community to either go listen to, go buy, go look Black owned, anything like that?
I want to give some shout outs.
Okay, give some shout outs. Yeah, shout out to you.
So, Dream Life Community, Dream Life Fellowship Church in Atlanta, Georgia, that is a cherry pick. Pastor Kanisha Billingsley, she's an amazing spiritual leader. We got Reverend Dr. Melva Sampson, who's out in North Carolina, who does this series on Facebook called the Pink Road Chronicles.
Oh, I don't know.
Look it up, the Pink Road Chronicles.
The Pink Road Chronicles.
Yes, on your journey. She's amazing. And then we got to give a shout out to Pastor Michael.
Yes, we do.
Pastor Mike Baptist Church. There's no other Baptist church like it, where an imam can come and get some life. Your priestess can come and get some life. Christians, we come and get some life.
That's my church, y'all.
Everybody can come and get some life, love, and light in that space. So I am in gratitude for Pastor Mike, for First Corinthian Baptist Church, for allowing me to have the opportunity to participate in the Hope Center.
Oh gosh. Okay, I have nothing else to say after that. I learned so much today, and Pastor Kyndra and I just went to another level of friendship.
Yeah,
I love it.
So now Cherry's gonna be talking to me.
Right? Okay, I probably will. You're probably like, Cherry, go back to the third row. I'm always in the third row at church. She's gonna be like, can you go back to the third row? Okay, no, she won't. But like now I'm a stalker. But anyway, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you're so busy, and I just want the world to see how amazing you are, and the people that I have chosen to surround myself with, and how there's no one doing what you're doing right now, and so it makes me very excited that you plan on opening more Hope Centers like this around, and free. Come on,
free. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
He loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Come on. He loves us, yeah. Yeah, he loves us.